Well, hello there, my friends, and welcome back, Thanks very much for joining me. I am your host, Romedy. We just got completed building this little red area right here. A whole episode just to build the red area to hook the ship in the container and my production areas. So I tell you, you may say this is not very efficient right here. This was kind of dumb. This is not going to be my permanent production areas. It is just a convenient areas for right now. So I turn my attention now into how I can start making some of the solar panels. Well, so let's see. I don't want to use the uranium's energy forever, so we need to get some of the solar panels. Well, so here is what we need. The solar cell is fairly cheap to build. Not many construction components, some of the metal grids, which I need to make, a tube. The problem is in that solar cell. I need 64 of those solar cells. So what does it take to make a solar cell? Well, let's go see. Let's go see what I need. In my K menu, under the productions, I can go down here and find a single solar cell. So I use 0.3 of the gold ingots, 0.01 of the platinum ingots, and some of the silicon wafers. Well, I have plenty of the silicon, a little bit of the gold, but I'm going to run out of platinum very quickly. The other thing that I'm going to look at is I need to build a battery so that I can store some of the energy out of the solar cells when I'm not using anything. Well, I need, I think, 160 of those power cells, which is going to require quite a lot of this. The good news is here I have plenty of the nickel and the cobalt, so I do not have to worry about this so much. So let's get on board then. So we need 64 of the solar cells. Let's say we're going to make 3 of the panels. That's going to be roughly 200 of the solar cells. So let's go ahead and add that to our production queue. While that is working, we shall go investigate what we need for the battery box. So here is a battery box. When we look at it, I need some substantial more resources for this guy. 80 of the steel plates, some construction components, again with the metal grids, but 120 of the power cells. So if I'm going to put a battery into here, I'm going to need 120 power cells. Now remember, the power cell was easier first to make than the solar cell because I already had many of the components necessary. Not necessary, the component, but I also had, I had many of the resources that are going to be used. So for the battery box, I need 120 of those components. There we are, nice and done. The other thing in here, we are going to need some of the metal grids, which is all iron ingot. So we go ahead and use 100 of those. So we're now tackling the idea, the concept of getting over here some of the alternate power to run this thing. So let's think further about what I'm really going to need on this station. I'm not using this gravity generator anymore. Let's go ahead and remove him. On my large ship, it is going to be useful to have a medical station. So we're going to leave him there for right now. Remember that a medical station is useful for a respawn. It does heal you and it does do many of the other nice things, but primarily what we use the medical station for is for the healings. Yeah, everything now put away. Okay, let's see how we do down here. We're now crunching on the uranium. We're going to go ahead and just do all of the iron first. Again, I'm not so much in need of the uraniums, but I am in need of the irons. So we're just going to move them around. Okay, so we're making construction components. So the next thing we're going to want to turn our attention to, instead of this small mining vessel that we have here, we're going to want a large mining vessel. And there's many different ways that we can do this. There are different ways to do all of these things, quite obviously. But the small mining vessel is nice. Ultimately, we want a big one. So let's come over here in the G menu. We're going to make a new large ship. So let's go ahead. I'm going to need, I guess, a steel plate in order to build the landing gear. So let's go get some of him. Here's the steel plate. Let's move. I just need a singular steel plate in order to place my landing gear. And here we go. Large ship. Done. So, the conundrum that I now have to work with, and this is a question you can ask yourself based on how many resources you start with. Do I want to stand back and build a small ship that is more versatile, meaning I have a small ship that is a builder ship, a small ship that is a grinder ship, a small ship that is an attack ship that is going to go after the red names that will occasionally pop up, the computer generated ships? Or do I want to just go ahead and jump into a large mining vessel that I'm going to need? The problem with the large vessel is that in order to power him, I need a decent amount of the uraniums. And in order to fly him, I need the thrusters. And the thrusters are extremely expensive when we get into the large ships. Do I have enough resources to build large thrusters? For example, here is a thruster. Come down here. 25 computer... Oh no, that is a battery. Sorry, not what I want. There's a thruster. It requires 80 of the thruster component. Okay, well that does not seem so bad. What are you talking about, Romedy? Let's come back over here into the station. Go into the K menu, not to production. Let's go look at the thruster component. Iron ingot, not surprise. Cobalt, I have a lot of. Gold, I do not have so much of. Platinum, I do not have so much of. Now, I do know a convenient place with quite a lot of gold. What I do not know is where to find platinum. Something that I neglected to put onto this ship in the first place is an ore detector. So we're going to go ahead, cut out a spot here in the middle. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to give this ship an ore detector. That means I'm going to be able to see the ores from long range. Okay, so let's go back here into my G menu now. Let's go find the ore detector. There it is. We'll put it over there. And now we will just slap this guy in. What do I need? 2 construction component, a motor, a computer, a detector component, and 2 steel plate. I need a detector component. I don't know how to make that. That's okay. We come down here. Okay. In the production tab first, I need a detector component. This guy that requires platinum and iron. We're going to go ahead and move him to the front since he will be created quickly. Let's come down here. Let's get my detector component. Let's go ahead and move those guys as well. I needed a computer, I think. I needed a motor, I think. So we go ahead and we get those while we're in here as well. Let's come back up here on the top. So we need the number 8 for the detector. We stick him right in there. And hopefully I brought everything I need to build him. I got a little bit lucky. I did bring everything that I needed. Okay. Let's come down here now. Okay, put all of these things in here. Actually, you can go up there, I think. We're doing fine in here. There's the gravity component that we made. Some of the reactor component, which I don't have enough. Okay. Well, all this work is going on. I tell you what, let's go. We get a little bit more of the gold. And we go ahead and we find some of the platinum as well. So there's some nickel and iron. There's gold over here on the other side, which is easy to go find. I tell you what, actually, we go over here. Since I know exactly where that gold is, let's fly this direction. Let's go over here to this asteroid we have not looked at. In transit, I get a little coffee. So I'm already interested about that second asteroid over there, the small one, kind of in the middle. He looks like he is a little silver-ish. Can't tell if that is silver or platinum or silicon. It could be any of the above. We're now into cruising here nearby to this big guy. We're going to wait for just a moment until I start to see what he is going to house on him. Let's see what we have. There we come out of our little travel. Let's go ahead and fly around this guy. We take a look at him. Let's see what all this is in here. We're not doing anything interesting. We have some iron. That's kind of boring. Let's go over here to the other side of him. There's the same iron deposit just following us. There's some nickel down over there. Okay, so that's a small asteroid. There is uranium, but that uranium is... Oh, he is right here on the surface. That is excellent. Okay, well, that's easy to spot. Let's see what we have done here. There's iron and there's nickel. Unfortunately, none of the platinums, though, which is really what we came over here for. That's okay. While we're here, we're going to go and nom some of this uraniums. This is a very nice uranium deposit that we have here, so we just kind of dive in. There we go. Nom nom. Very nice. With the uranium, this is large, nice and large uranium deposits. We kind of mark this in our heads for future reference. This is going to give us plenty of the energies. I wonder where, though, I'm going to be able to find the platinum, because I must have at this stage the platinum. I've got a nice gold deposit right on my home asteroid. What I do not have on my home asteroid is any of the platinum, so we must go find. But first, Uraniums. Dum num num num. Much uraniums. Okay, let's see how we do on the uranium right there. We have got about 12k of the uranium. I'm going to go ahead and dip myself in here a little bit more. I want to get maybe 20k of the uranium. Bear sit with me for just a moment while I go ahead and nom all of this. I don't know if this is rock next to it or if this is actually going to go ahead and be silicon. A little bit difficult to tell. I think it must be the stone because it's not showing up on the ore detector. Not even sure this is into the uranium anymore, so we back out a little bit. We go down and go back over here. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I like uranium in my tummy. Actually, that's not true. That's a lie. I don't like uranium in my tummy at all. I hear that gives you a syndrome. I hear that that actually kills you if you put uranium into the tummy. It's too much of the direct radiations. Makes all of your blood cells break down, and no longer can you hold the cell walls together, so the things burst, and you just have mitochondria everywhere in the body. So maybe don't put the uranium. Do not listen to Romedy. Do not put the uranium into your body. That is bad. You should not enjoy that. Okay, so we see how we do now on the uranium. A little bit of the stone, but ultimately about 23k, 24k uranium. That is good. We're just going to take a closer little look at these asteroid guys over here. Do a little flyby, nickel and iron. Not what we're looking for. This guy over here is intriguing, so we go look at him, although I suspect this is probably just stone. More uranium, magnesium, and the silicons over here. This is looking like it is just stone. We do a little flyby on him. Some gold on here on the back, some more uranium. I saw that there was this magnesium over here. I'm going to take a moment to get some of this magnesium. I did tell you, and this is very true, that magnesium is... there's just uranium all over the place over here. This is supposed to be a difficult level, and I just have a very easy level apparently. But magnesium is used in a lot of weaponry, and eventually we are going to need the magnesium. If you happen to be on a PvP server, or you do not want to do the mining like I do the mining, you just want to go attack everything and blow them up, then magnesium needs to be high on your list of ores that you need to go find, because you make the ammunitions all with the magnesiums. So we just kind of dip in here real quick. We pick up some of it so that we can make a little bit of the ammunition. I'm not going to spend a very long time there, to be honest with you. So, okay, so we struck out, it looks like, on the things here. We're going to take a closer look at this guy. I don't know what ore this is. Right there. It tells me that this is irons. We're going to get a little closer. So this is actually the platinums right here. This is what we were needing. It is bordering up to... This is a very rich little asteroid right here. I like him very much. But I'm just going to dive into this platinum, and I'm just kind of going to work my way around. I'm going to get as much of this as I can right here. Since this is kind of boring, I tell you what, I'm going to kind of pause the video. I will come back after I have gone ahead and mined up the platinum and also some of the gold. So I see you in just a moment. Alright, so here we are. We are just arriving back from our little mining trip that we had. So before we start docking and everything, I'll show you what we ended up with. About 35,000 of the uraniums, which is pretty good. Of course, we never turned down the iron, about 43,000 of the iron. I found good platinum deposits, quite a lot of platinum that will last us a while. Obviously, we has a very good gold deposit on our home asteroid. I saw a little bit of silver, so we picked up about 13,000 silver ore as well. This is used primarily in the making of the reactor components. We are going to need to make a large ship reactor here in the near future, so I picked that up as well. And then about 14,000 of the magnesium. This is important if you are in a PvP environment. As I said, this is what is going to be your ammunitions and all that kind of jazz for me right now, because this is a single player world where I do not have all that many of the computer ships to worry about, and for the moment all I am doing is the mining. I do not have to worry about that so much, so that is nice to have, but is kind of low on my scale of necessities here for the moment. So, okay, so yeah, let's go ahead. We hide the empty things here. Let's go ahead and start moving into our large container. So we have, let's go find our cargo container. We're currently crunching on a little bit of the uraniums, which is just fine. But really, what we're going to be more interested in is some of the platinums here. I think that I really am going to go ahead and do this iron first. We're going to go ahead and let it get done. I'm going to move the uranium out of our refinery. The gold is nice, but I think I'm going to put some platinums there next. I have at least a little head start on some of the gold ore, so we can move the rest of the gold here. Oops, that was the wrong place. Let's go ahead and move the gold into this as well. Uranium, you can go ahead and stay there in the front, I think. The magnesium is going to go right in front of the stone. And now we have the silver. Probably, I tell you what, we do some of the silver next. I'm going to need it. And the stone can go last. Well, I guess that's not really true. Tell you what, we do, say, 15,000 of the stone. So that'll be 27,000 that I'm going to move. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll create me some gravel. So as far as I can tell, when the refinery is going to go ahead and take things. Now, this refinery does not seem like it is really doing that. So we go to the control panel. We go find the refinery here. It's supposed to be using the conveyor system, so I don't understand, but that's okay. Refinery, it's going to go ahead and pull things, and as far as I can tell, it pulls the ore in order that you have it set up here, so it'll pull this gold first, and then it'll pull that stone, and it'll pull that uranium. And so, as far as I can tell, that is what it does. I'm going to go ahead and put that stone, I think, in front of the platinum, because that's going to go very quickly, and I'm going to need it as well, so... but yeah, it's going to, I think, the refinery is going to pull things out of here in the order that you have it placed. Now, when you have multiple containers, it becomes a little bit more difficult to kind of predict and figure out where it's going to pull stuff from. But my experience is that a single container it would pull in order, which is kind of a nice little thing. So, okay, so I told you that one of the things that we were going to be interested in doing was building... to hide the empty there again. We're interested in building some of these solar panels. So I think that we go ahead and we start embarking on doing that. So we move the solar things. Let's move some of these battery cells as well. We moved them up into here. So let's get that. Let's get these metal grids, and now let's get. Oh, good! I can carry everything at once. So let's move those in there. I need 64 of the cells, so I need to move 56 more of them. I'm going to need, I think, only 5 of these metal grids, so we do, the total summation should be 15. I think we need a little bit of these steel plates, so we do 100 of those. We're going to need some of these as well, so I do 60 of those. And off the top of my head, I don't remember what other things we need, but that's okay. We come over here now. And as far as I can tell, we have wireless transmission of energies. That's pretty nice, right? Wireless transmission of energies. And so what I do then is I come over here. We're going to just go ahead and put our solar panels. I think that we place them like this up against, not like that. That's not very good. Oops, turned everything off. I think like this is how we actually going to place them. Maybe I need to turn, yeah, let's turn them that way. So we'll just do the outline for the 3 of them that I said we were going to place. And now we go ahead and actually look at this. Maybe it's a, let's see, large steel tube, I think, and we need some of the computers as well. Okay, so we go back here, we get those things. We get the large steel tube, we get some of the computers. So I need 3 of those guys right here, which is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and bring all of the computers over because they are very cheap to handle. I have construction components and all that kind of jazz, so I think we're looking okay. Let's go ahead and... Oh good, I can build all of this solar panel. We hope I can do the same with the next guy. I'm going to obviously have to bring the solar cells, but we'll go ahead and worry about that in a minute. We build him. Almost there, not quite. We build this guy as well. Excellent, doing good. Okay, so let's go get the rest of those solar cells. Yeah, I think that's what we do. I turned my jetpack off on accident. Let's get the solar cells that we need. You come with me a solar cell. I'm going to be a little bit short, I think. Not all of the solar cell was in there, but that's okay. Put everything we can put over here. How many are we short? We are short 7. Okay, we get 7 of the solar cells. 7 of you guys, you come here. Let's get 7 of you. 7. Okay. So, what I think I want to do out of my assembler, I don't really want him just kind of sitting there by his own. Tell you what we do next is we build the battery. What we do next is we start building some of the batteries over here. I'm going to put the battery, I think, into this place right here. I need 120 of those components. I can build some of this guy. Quite a lot of this guy, actually, but I'm going to need 120 of the power cells. So let's go get 120 of the power cell. There they are right there. We bring as many over as we can bring. 62 of them, that's okay. We go and put them into him. Now we go get the rest. Now we go get the rest of them. Yay! Here we go. And to the battery, here we go. Dun 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 dun. So we need the battery eventually because the batteries are going to be what holds in the power that is brought in by the solar panels, especially when the reactor, the refinery, and the assembler are not running. Which right now, of course, they're running. But let's go take a look. So let's just take a look in here what we have. We have reactor power, thruster dampeners. So I have 5.56. I do not have any batteries in use. That seems interesting. Maybe I have misplaced that battery. Maybe the battery has to boot up to the solar panels, which is maybe the case. So we come in here now. Let's take a closer look. Let's go look at the actual solar panels here to this guy. So max output is 8518, so we have a current output that's not too bad. 85 kilowatt output for that guy, and for this guy, and for that guy. Okay, so I'm very happy with this. I'm actually very happy with that altogether. I tell you what, I'm just curious here. So what is our current usage on the station? Is 10% of 5,556. So we're using about 500 kilowatt worth of energy is what we're using. And we're producing over there about 240 kilowatt worth of energy. So really, I think we could go ahead and place some more of these guys in there. But what I'm going to do first, I'm curious about this. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of those guys. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to get the pieces of the battery. So I'm going to watch my volume down there bottom left until I get right there. And now we come over here by the solar panel. And I'm going to go ahead and put the battery in here. I think next to the solar panel. We're going to... Does that look good to you? I wonder what's here on the outside. What's here on the outside? Is that where I have a... interesting. Okay. Well, that's okay. We put this battery right here. We see if this helps our battery at all for the use. Okay, so all that is gone. So let's come back over here to the previous battery. Let's go ahead and watch my volume again. Must have just picked up all those battery components, which is precisely what I did. Okie dokie. Now I think I can just make you go bye-bye. Yep, battery go bye-bye. That is nice. And now we should be able to finish this guy over here. So let's see what is wrong with battery. Okay, so now we have one of the red dot right there. So let's go into this guy. 4 megawatt is the max output. Stored power is the 1 megawatt, and currently we're not doing anything. So if I go ahead and set him to recharge, we see what happens. Okay, so we're going to fill this guy up here pretty quickly then. I like that. So what happens if I go to semi-auto? What do you do now? Okay, so you're still filling with power. Okay, I like that. That is pretty good. Let's see what we are... I know that we are running in the refinery over there. So let's just go sit and see. Let's see what we're doing. Take stock. We're going to take stock on what is going on here on the station. So in terms of production, we're not producing anything right now. And really, I guess that we could use... Almost we could run the station on the solar cells. And I should have plenty of... maybe not plenty of the gold ingots. Let's go. I want to hide the empty here. Let's go look at our refinery and what we have. So I have a little bit of gravel that is being made. I've actually got 62,000 of those ingots. I don't really want to put all of that into the assembler. Yeah, that was kind of a bad idea. We move, say, Let's move 30,000 of those ingots here out of the assembler. Not that it really matters, I guess. Not that it matters really at all. Let's put the gravel down here as well. Running a little low on the gold ingots. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to platinum with gold. And that sounds just fine to me. Let's put some of the platinum up into there. And now let's come back over here to the production of the solar cells. So I have plenty of the platinum, I have plenty of the silicons. The gold is being produced right now. And let's see, I needed 120 of them. No, that's not true. I needed 64. So let's just go ahead and make 300 more of those guys. Going to very quickly run out of the gold, but it is my hope that we're going to be producing enough of the gold to keep up. Yeah, see, I'm already up into the 9s there. We will just watch real quick here what happens. I think it only steals a little bit. I see what it does. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what you are doing over there. Well, let's go to our assembler here. We're going to need to get up to 64. Let's see what the component out of these guys was. I needed construction components to actually lay them down. Do I have some construction? I do not have any in my inventory, so let's just go get some construction components. So I was using about, I'm going to round up to be pessimistic, I was using about 600 of, using about 600 kilowatt worth of energies, and this was producing 80 each, so that's going to be roughly 8 of these solar panels then, I guess. That's not too bad, is it? Tell you what we do. We convert this corner block right here. We just go ahead and remove him. We turn him into one of these blocks. And now I go ahead and I lay out my solar panel for this guy. So that's going to be 4. Now I'm worried if I start putting them behind this stuff over here that I'm going to lose some of the energy. So far that does not seem too bad to be the case. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a total of 7. Okay, so let's put everything I have. I need some of the large steel tubes. I need 4 of those tubes over here. So let's go ahead and get 4 of those tubes. Yeah, that worked nicely. How many of the grids do I have on me? I have, okay, a lot of the grid on me. So we go ahead and do this. Good. The computer be fine. The steel plate be fine. It looks like the metal grid be fine. Construction component be fine. Well, good. So really all we're lacking here then is just the solar cells. Go ahead and make this next guy. And then probably it would be good to get maybe a couple more batteries so if we fly off, things are not quite doing what we thought they were going to do. Yeah, this is interesting so far. This is interesting. We has a plan. So again, the far-reaching idea here is we want to build a large ship, but I want to be a little self-sufficient. And I'm also thinking kind of ahead to what that large ship is going to look like. We're going to try something I think a little different than I have previously done. And I'm actually kind of excited about that. It's going to be, I think, pretty fun. It's going to be pretty fun. So yeah. So this will be a good thing, I think. Well, let's bring our solar cells. Let's bring as many solar cells as we can here so far. Have many of those solar cells. Okay, so 147, I can do 2 of these panels and finish them up. So we go ahead and do that. We go ahead and do that. And we put everything I have into that guy remaining. Okay, let's go get more solar panels. Yeah, we get this rest. I think I make maybe, let's say I make 100 more of those guys maybe. Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe too much. Maybe too much. We need 64, so we're going to wait just a moment till we have 64 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 64. Let's go. Okay, and I need to have 1 more of these panels built, I think maybe on the end to really get us kind of automated. And so we go and we do that while we wait here. We go ahead and we do that. We build this last panel. Long as it is up against its brothers, it should be fine, I think. This guy need a tube, and I'm going to need more of the steel panels, so let's go get those things. So all of these are operating pretty good, look like. Yeah, they are operating on 3. I like that very much. 120 of the power cells was something that we need to keep in mind as well. So let's make 240 of those. Next, the gold is the limiting factor, so that is okay. We're doing pretty good on that. I said I needed 1 of these tubes right here, so let's get 1 of those guys. We hide all of the empty, and now I need to get, okay, we wait just a moment. I get a little coffee here. Ah, it's good coffee. Any day it's all snowy outside is day for the coffee as an old person. When you're a young person, you get the cocoa. So you're the old person, you get the coffee, and that is what is important. Okay, there we go. So that's almost done. Okay, so while we wait on the rest of those panels to go ahead and finish, we come back over here now. And I want to take a look. You noticed that earlier we were like 5.56 megawatt. Now we're at 5.9 megawatt. We're using 87% power usage. That is a little rough, I think, but I believe it's because we are using both of the refineries, and we're also using the assembler to make things. And now my guess is that the battery, if the battery is doing what we asked it to do, it should be filling up with energies, which it absolutely is. Okay, so this is good. So we're going to fill that battery up. And now we could overload everything without the batteries, but we not do that for right now. I just need 64. Oh yeah, it's going over here. That's what I do. That's what I do. We come over here. We get the rest. We hide out empty. We get the rest of those solar panels. We go finish. Okie dokie. Well, I tell you what. I think we call this episode right here then. We do this episode. We call him. He should be producing nicely. Let's go take one last look at our power consumptions. And now we're down to 86%. That's good. The battery consuming over there is what is, I think, doing us in terms of our power consumption. What I do not want to do is really use that reactor. So I think we maybe... No, that's okay. I do this while we off. I do this while we off cameras here. So when we come back, what we're going to do is we're going to start planning out how to build this large ship. We're going to build a large mining ship. I show you how to start off by doing that. There's a very specific way that I do like to build my large mining ships, and hopefully it will make sense to you. It certainly makes sense to me anyway. So, yeah, we come back, we do that here in a moment. As always, I thank you for joining me. I see you then, and I as the Romedy. Bye-bye now.